Week 2 preview, 12 Angry Men Network, coming to you live. The truth, the commish, none other than himself, Tommy Tornadoes. Hosting with me, DJ Coco Julius Peppers Puff. What do we got on slate this week, my friend?
We'll go over the matchups. We'll recap last week overall. We'll talk about the first trade of the season between co-missioner and co-commissioner. And we'll do a deep dive in some predictions, all right?
All right, let's start off first. Quick recap last week.
Overall.
Stay where we're at. Two main things jump out at me. Number one, dirty, strong. And number two, that last place gutter. Where do we start?
Let's start at the bottom and work our way up. The Poland reach. Poland, you must have reached for your whole team because you didn't even score 71 points this week. Is this a theme? Are you going to score 70 points every week? That's not going to win you a single game, Poland.
I agree. Poland, talk to your wife.
Poland, you have 0 RB1s. You don't have a single running back. I don't know how that happens in fantasy drafts, but apparently it did.
Poland, if you want to make a move and improve your team, just remember, asking a king's ransom for a measly tight end will do you nothing.
Yeah, no, he turned down some awful trade requests for us. Great for him. Remarkable. Anyway, enough about that.
Let's talk about Dirty in Lexington, throwing up the 1-4-4.
Down in the South, Dirty Dolphins.
Dirty style. Congrats.
Great week, Dirty. I don't know if Stephen Ridley's the second coming. Frankly, I don't want to know, but great start to the season.
Dirty, let's just be honest. You peaked too soon. I'm sorry. I've just got to be brutally honest. You won't score 144 ever again, and your team can do nothing but get worse.
That is possible since most teams have never scored 140. In fact, I think we have less than 15 140s in the 5-year history of the league.
Don't know, don't really care. Moving on. Let's talk matchups.
All the hard work I put into headlines last year, you don't even read them.
First matchup is none other than Coco Commish and Turbo.
Turbo, you're going to blow up this week in a horrific crash. 1-0 start, totally misleading. He scored 87 points and got the win only because he lucked out and was playing Poland.
Well, let's be honest here. Poland scored one more point than his favorite porn-style move. Turbo, you have a great quarterback in Jay Cutler. You have a receiver in Marcus Colston who's 3 years past his prime.
Anquan Bolden.
No, I'm talking Marcus Colston.
I'm saying both.
Bolden's about 4 years past his prime. You got a great running back in McFadden, no denying that. You got a solid pick in MJD, but he's due for an injury. In fact, I'm willing to bet, lunch with you, Turbo, that one of those two running backs gets injured at some point this year. Let me know if you want to take the bet.
It's possible. Hopefully this week.
And we look at you for a second. You think your roster's just phenomenal. You talk about these 6 wide receivers you have. We talk about your reach around you had this morning on Alshon Jeffrey.
I don't know how that's a reach. He has more points than every receiver on your team.
Fair. What do you think he scores this week?
I say he scores 20.
You lied and lied. You're telling me Alshon Jeffrey scores 20 points this week?
Yeah, I'm starting him. Every Cutler TD that Turbo gets, Alshon's going to negate.
Want to bet a lunch?
They're going to double cover Brandon.
You want to bet a lunch?
What's the over-under?
Let's do 15. 15 and under, I get the free Subway lunch. 15 and up, you get the lunch on me. You want it?
Boom!
Live on the air. You know what else your roster has? It has a Brandon Lloyd. Great. I like him. He sucked for me last year. Tom Brady's got one too many targets. Not to mention this newfound running back that Dirty's high on. And you have an ACL coming back, Jamal Charles. And you have a spleen-ridden Jason Witten. I don't see how you win this week.
I have Reggie Bush, #1 running back. Jamal Charles, #1 running back. Doug Martin, #1 running back. In 4 weeks, I'll have a 4th #1 running back. I am going to run away with this league.
How's this? You're a foot taller than him, but Turbo beat you by a foot this week.
I think I'm more than a foot taller than him.
He's 5'4", you're 6'4". It's
Okay.
even. Yeah.
6'3".
Sorry, Turbo.
Whatever. Anyway,
Did I say 5'4"?
No, you said 6'4". I'm 6'3".
Oh, you're 6'4" in shoes.
The doctor
Turbo's
says 6'3".
5'4"
Anyway,
in heels.
Are you picking Turbo?
I'm picking Turbo.
That's the worst pick of the week. I already can tell.
Next,
I'm picking myself. It's in a landslide.
next matchup.
Oh, speaking of overrated, Tommy's Tornadoes.
Overrated. I'm in last place. How am I overrated?
And Team SSL, the one-hit wonder himself.
This is a rematch of the 2008 championship matchup, which
Yeah.
the Tornadoes won.
Which SSL shouldn't have been in, but you benched Larry Fitzgerald on Thanksgiving Day 2008 to get him in. Anyway, we're past that. SSL is going to return to form of 2009 and be in the bottom tier, which he already has taken his place in.
Well, I mean, he's got a 33-yard running back in Ahmad Bradshaw who's due for another foot injury.
If you want David Wilson, come call in.
He's got DeMarco Murray, who he rode for 20 points last week, who they have heard, I have heard, lingering effects, arthritis in that broken ankle from next year. Something to remember.
Do you have a source you're not telling us about?
Yes.
Of course. Donald Brown I wanted. I don't think I'd start him, though, this week, but...
And he's got an injured Jermichael Finley. This guy's knee's always injured. May I also mention that SSL turned down a trade for Jermichael Finley because he wanted a king's ransom.
You know, all that being said, all you have is Aaron Rodgers. Your Jacksons suck collectively. Sed Benson might get 6 points as Yahoo projects. If he's lucky, I think SSL goes 1-1, dropping you into last place at 0-2.
Can I just mention one name for you? And for me, I'm on a different basis with this guy.
David Akers.
Freddie Morris.
Alfred
Fast
Morris.
Freddie Morris.
Talk
Remember
about
the name, folks.
one-hit wonders.
Remember the name.
You talk about Stephen Ridley. I bet Stephen Ridley has a better week than Alfred Morris, who might be the backup to Roy Helu by week 4.
Do you want to do another Subway lunch bet?
No more.
Put your money where your mouth is, bitch.
No more bets.
Come on.
No more bets.
Let's do a bet.
I take SSL. You're taking yourself, of course. Let's move on.
Really? Talk the big game, but won't back it up. Moving on. Los Lucky and Romo. I'm kicking the commission off the trade committee sexual. What do you want to talk about? Eli Manning sucks. Hakeem Nicks sucks.
Steve Smith, he's pretty old.
Old as dirt. Older than Poland.
The other Smith has a high ankle sprain for the rest of his life, Kevin Smith.
Jimmy Graham, love him.
Marshawn Lynch, 87 yards with back spasms. Hard to tell. He might do well.
Well, let's talk about Marshawn Lynch for a second. SSL, dickhead move last week. It will come back and haunt you.
Jimmy Graham is terrific. I give him that. But aside from him, I don't see any other rock-solid plays on Romo's team.
Let's talk about Los. I'm picking Los to win. However, Torrey Smith, I told you he sucked and he sucked. Demaryius Thomas, he pulled a dirty and peaked early.
Matt Ryan,
Awesome.
this could be his year. He took him right under your feet.
Foster, awesome. CJ Spiller, not going to work out for you, Los.
He's going to have a
Trust
great
me.
week this week, though. That's for sure.
I got Los. You got?
Los.
Moving on. The battle of the no avatars. Gentlemen, take a minute and put a fucking avatar online.
I know you're busy camping, going to Swedish Meatball Fest at IKEA. I mean, put a fucking logo up, all right?
Freshness. I mean, even if you want to put those engagement-like photos you had professionally done of you and Naringa, put something up. And buckets, I don't care, dude. I'd put a gang sign up or something.
Talk about the matchup. I think Buckets is poised, if AP can stay healthy, to have a very strong year.
No questions asked. Buckets runs away with this matchup. Good draft from Wisconsin. As always, out of Buckets.
Yeah, I mean, waiting on Mike Vick to the 4th round, that could be a great move. If Vick, he had 4 picks last week and still outscored most of the quarterbacks in the league.
Here's what worries me about Buckets' roster. Number 1, the age of Tony Gonzalez. Number 2, Buckets' lack of trade willingness. All of a sudden, the guy's become gun shy. The little pee-pee shriveled up like it's in cold water. And number 3, Adrian Peterson's knee. I hate to say it, but AP pulled it dirty and peaked too early.
I don't think so. I think Purple Jesus rises again here, and Buckets runs away with this matchup. Freshness. Good luck getting a single win this year until you play Poland.
0-2 fresh, enjoy the gutter. Moving on. Downtown Tommy versus his brother the Redhead.
Tommy, your pick for the win this season. Cutler's Command. Can he win this week? Even, I doubt it. Let's look at the matchup. Turk, you're benching Matt Stafford. I know it's San Fran's D. It's still a questionable decision. Percy Harvin, he gets some rushing yards. I think he's pretty good.
He's a headache away from sitting on
after
his
Christian Ponder took over as QB, he had the most targets of any
Lance
wide receiver in the league.
Garbage.
Law Firm, who you took too early in the third round, which pissed me off because I was going to take him in the fourth. Joliet Catholic product, Colby Feener, I kind of like at the tight end spot. Let's look at Cutler. The average age of his running backs, Tom?
Older than me.
36. I mean, they're old, and they're both injury prone.
Well, let's talk about the other things. Brandon Marshall, great pickup, Donnie. Drew Brees, great pickup, Donnie. Mike Wallace, shaky pickup. I'm expecting big things from Brees, Tammy, and Brandon Marshall.
I think Janikowski, one of the only 4 kickers in the league to kick a 63-yarder, will do well as well. But I, on the other hand, am not taking Cutler. I'm taking Turk.
I got Cutler.
Fine.
Moving on.
Dirty, the matchup of the week, and it's perfect that the top scorer in the league is playing the bottom scorer in the league, Hollywood X. This one, do we even need to cover it?
This might be X-rated.
Triple X rated. Hollywood, you scored 70. If you would have played twice last week, you still wouldn't have beaten Dirty's 144. I mean, even though Andrew Luck is still kind of a question mark at rookie, I think LaShawn McCoy, Julio Jones, Andre Johnson, Aaron Hernandez, Darren Sproles as a receiver in a running back spot, but still, Stephen Ridley, maybe a question mark. I think Dirty runs away with this 20-plus in the victory. You've got
some solid points. I look at Hollywood's team and I see potential. I look at a guy like Hollywood himself. He took the time to put an avatar on the big board. Dirty did it.
Props for the avatar.
And neither did Freshness. Go stop eating IKEA Swedish meatballs and take some time and put an avatar up. But I hate to tell you, Michael, you're wrong. The pick this week is going to be Hollywood X. And here's why.
Gosh.
Let me break it down for you. Andrew Luck, 9 points against a Bears defense. How old is the Bears defense? Older than Poland. Next up, Julio. He's due to pull a Houdini, and this is the week. Next up, Andre Johnson. That guy said 2 years of injury-riddled season. Do you think he's going to stay healthy? I don't. Next up, LaShawn McCoy. Nothing to say. Good boy. Darren Sproles, Dirty, didn't have a single carry. The Saints' backfield is just ridiculous. It's like a locker room. Chris Ivory, Mark Ingram, Darren Sproles, and Pierre Thomas. I'm sorry, but Darren is overvalued, and you're the one that overvalued him. That being said, I'm going with Hollywood X, folks.
That's crazy. That's a bold pick.
Somebody's got to do it.
All right. Finally, who is going to have the best start at 2-0, and then who has the largest hole to dig themselves out of at 0-2?
Well, it's likely Dirty's going to be the best 1-1 team out there. And it's likely that the Tornadoes will be the best 0-2 team out there. So let's look at some other teams that you think might start 0-2. Freshness, no doubt he's going to be 0-2. Will they rebound?
No.
No, they'll suck.
No.
Poland at 1-1. Will this propel him to greatness this season?
I say he's 0-2. I say he doesn't get a win until week 6.
What's going to hurt you, Poland, is your king's ransom. You need to start making some moves.
You don't have a running back, Poland. Make a trade. Team SSL 0-2 like 2009.
Suck.
Absolutely.
Turbo 1-1. Suck.
Yeah, I'll be 1-1. I'll be the best 1-1 team because Dirty's going to win. I think Los goes to 2-0 here. I think Turk goes to 2-0 and Buckets as well. Those three are going to be pretty hard to catch. And if Buckets has the two-headed monster of AP and Ray Rice this entire season, I don't know who's catching them.
Well, let me ask you this. Do most running back ever get injured during the season?
Yeah.
Okay. You're telling me you think AP goes the full season
I
without
just said
injury?
if. I just said if.